Well, good evening, fastball fans, and welcome back to the nightcap for the ISC Canada East qualifier. The New York Gremlins on the field, ready to face the Toronto Batmen in our 9 p.m. scheduled game. We're about 45 minutes late. We'll be underway very shortly. There you see the batting order for the Toronto Batmen. It's the McKay brothers at the top. Tyler Pauli coming over to Toronto from Bear Creek. Denny Benson in the cleanup spot. Andy Skelton, Josh Baker, John Baker, AJ Moses, Mitch Pringle, and Owen Torrey. The handwriting is a little sketchy here for the Toronto team. Defensively for the Gremlins, left to right across the outfield, it's Brian Avery in left, Ben Anoka as ever in center field, and right it's Lucio Redemar tonight for the Gremlins in their opening game. It's Jack Besgrove out on the board. He'll be throwing to Nick Mullins. Jerome Remeke is out at third. Cole Evans at short. Second base, it's Tawny Mumu. And over at first, Eric Ochoa. And upstairs and holding back is McKay. And we're underway here in the nightcap. And that one misses just outside to McKay. Run it to 2-0. Jack Besgrove, the reigning Leroy Zimmerman Most Outstanding Pitcher Award winner. In fact, he's won that the last 2 years running. The Gremlins, champions 2 years ago, bridesmaids in 2024, coming up short in a 7-1 decision against the Hill United Chiefs. But it's a brand new season. Hill United, if you were with us just a few moments ago, on the short end of a 3-2 score to JDT First Energy. First ever game for that franchise, and they pull off the upset against the top-ranked Gremlins. Lots of action going on here at Keterson Park in Mitchell, Ontario, the ISC Canada East qualifier. Blair Sedford, if you're just joining us here on Softball Premier TV for the nightcap. Swing and a miss. Down goes Mason McKay as Jack Besgrove picks up his first strikeout of the evening. Mitch McKay now steps in. Mitch will be playing short, Mason in center field tonight, so up the middle for the Batmen. So misses inside. We'll work on getting the radar gun fixed up for you, and you'll be able to get a good reading on Jack Besgrove. Way up and in tight to Mitch McKay. Swings under that one. And good crowd on hand here still for the nightcap. And a rise ball spun in and up and over the bat of Mitch McKay. You heard the count from our home plate umpire, Matthew Leclerc from Donnacona, Quebec. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again with the rise ball, down on strikes goes Mitch McKay. Back-to-back Ks for Jack Besgrove here in the top of the first inning. Toronto Batmen at the plate. The newly named Bear Creek Gremlins, one of the big off-season stories. The Gremlins moving their operation lock, stock, and barrel from Clifton Park, New York, to north of the border to Chippewa on the Thames. The Cornelius family with a collection of fine ISC squads now. 2, 3, 2, 4, 5 in the rankings. Gremlins at 2. Number 4, the Bear Creek Express. They were big winners tonight as well in the opening game. 4-1 winners over the Northeast Drillers. The Drillers ranked number 3. Tyler Paulai at the plate. You talked about movement, and Tyler Paulai from Bear Creek Express to the Toronto Batmen. Bestgrove right now with the rise ball just overpowering the Toronto Batmen. He's able to spot that in and out and get it elevated up and over the bat. And just misses off the outside corner. Behind the plate, the veteran Nick Mullins. Quick conversation with Matthew Leclerc about where that pitch was. And they go with a drop in the outside corner, over the top. Jack Bestgrove strikes out the side here in the top of the first. We'll go to the home half with the Bear Creek Gremlins coming to the plate.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher.
We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Bear Creek Gremlins coming to the plate. Tawny Mumu, be followed by Jerome Remeke. Ben Anoka in the 3 spot. Eric Ochoa bats cleanup. Cole Evans, Lucio Redemar, Josh McGovern, the designated player, Brian Avery, and Nick Mullins in the 9-hole for the Gremlins. Defensively for Toronto, left to right, it's A.J. Moses in left, and center Mason McKay, and right Tyler Paulai. And then around the horn, Johnny Baker, Mitch McKay. At second base is Owen Torrey. And then over at first is Denny Benson. Behind the plate, it's Mitch Pringle. And out on the board, it's Dustin Wienhoff, the tall left-hander, who's had some success against this Gremlins team over the years. Little one-hopper out to Benson at first. He steps on the bag. Tawny Mumu, 3 unassisted in your scorebook at home. And good to see Jerome Remeke back in the lineup. He got a couple of tournaments in last year and then was hit with a pitch in the forearm at a tournament out in Saskatoon prior to the World Cup qualifier. Was unable to play for the New Zealand Black Sox and missed the rest of the season for the Gremlins. So a big stick back into the top of their lineup. Made a guest appearance last week at the Jack Grafmeyer tournament with the Bar of Appleton squad. I was surprised to see that. Probably, I'm going to say, an old connection with Blair Ezekiel helped to bring that one together. That one from Wienhoff is well off. And in for a strike on the outside corner. Remeke will be at the top of this Gremlins lineup, or near the top all season long in the 2 spot. Mainstay defensively at third. I'm hard-pressed to think of Too many better third basemen in the game than Jerome Remeke. Perennial all-tournament player here over much of the last decade. And he'll feature very prominently in the middle of the lineup for the Black Sox, I'm sure, as well, as they will look to get back to form at the WBSC World Cup later in about 4 or 5 weeks. That one will take place up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, as down on strikes goes Jerome Remeke here as the curse of the broadcaster continues. Ben Anoka to the dish. Benny became a father in the off-season, the North American off-season at least. Chatted with Benny very briefly before the game, said he arrived up here in North America on Tuesday morning. A long flight from Auckland into LA, and then from LA into Toronto. Line shot right into the glove of Denny Benson, who gets 2 of the 3 outs here. 3 up, 3 down go the Gremlins, as did the Batmen. Through 1 complete, we're scoreless. The nightcap, the ISC Canada East qualifier here on Softball Premier TV.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor.
Back here, top of the second inning, Denny Benson, Andy Skelton, the designated player for Toronto, and John Baker, 4-5-6 for the Batmen. A couple weeks ago at the new Bear Creek Entertainment Facility, a couple of fastball diamonds down there in Oneida, Ontario, the Batmen came out as the Ontario Eliminations Champions. It's the first time the OASA has had an eliminations tournament in a number of years, certainly since prior to the pandemic. 5 teams that were looking to compete at the Canadian Championship coming up later this year in Kitchener, Ontario, just up the road here from Mitchell. And Toronto will go as Ontario number 1. They're the reigning silver medalists. They came out on the short end of a snowball fight with the Galway Hitmen. You know, that was a rematch, too. If you fans, I'm sure, as Denny Benson goes down on strikes, 4 straight now for Jack Besgrove. Fans will remember that epic 15-inning game from Surrey at the Canadians in 2023. The Batmen 1-0 winners in that one over Galway. And I think it was 8-7 or 9-8 for Galway this year, or last year, I guess 2024. Jack Besgrove isn't wasting any time with any batters here. He is filling up the strike zone tonight. A lot of lefties in this Toronto lineup, and he is pounding away on this inside corner. That one goes outside. Touched 80 on that one to Jack Besgrove. He will feature in and around that 80-mile-an-hour mark. He'll bump it up to 81, 82 at times with the drop ball. The thing with Jack, he throws hard, but it's the movement on his pitches, the spin, and they don't just break up and down, they break laterally as well. He'll throw a curve drop His rise will also break laterally. Took a little bit off of that one at 57, dialed it way down and just missed out of the zone. And yeah, he's got a great changeup on top of velocity and movement. He's got a fantastic, all of this too. Jack will be 21, I believe, in December. Right on the outside corner, make it 5 in a row now for Jack Besgrove. Johnny Baker to the plate. Johnny Baker, executive director for Softball Ontario, so you can say softball's his day job too. Fouls that one down the right side. Our blue crew for this one, we mentioned Matthew Leclerc from Donnacona, Quebec, behind the plate. Kevin DiDomenico from Hamilton, Ontario, is out on the bases. Called strike to the outside corner. Matthew will be working the USA National Championship in Oklahoma City later this summer. That'll be in mid-July. It's a real compressed season this year. The ISC World Tournament starts July 26 and will run through to August 2nd as Jack Besgrove strikes out the side here in the top of the second as well. And we'll pick up the scheduling story in the bottom of the second. Stay with us here in Mitchell, Ontario. Who's going to score first? Let's wait and see. How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business. Much as it was in the top of the second inning, it'll be the same here in the bottom. 4, 5, 6. Eric Ochoa, Cole Evans, Lucio Redemar for the Bear Creek Gremlins. And I'll apologize now if I say New York Gremlins. I've been saying that for the last 10 years. It'll take us a little bit of time to get used to Bear Creek. So if and when I say it, I'm sorry. And just know that it'll probably happen more than once. I don't think I've done it yet, but I know I will. Yeah, I'm being told I should just say Gremlins, and that'll probably be enough from our good friends here to my right. Eric Ochoa led the ISC World Tournament in RBIs last year. And I think if you go back to 2022, he was the leading hitter. This guy does it all at the plate. Hits for power, hits for average. There was a tournament in Tijuana, Mexico, I want to say about a month ago. Eric was the MVP there, so he's right into it. The Toronto Batmen have already played in a couple of tournaments this year, so there's not a lot of teams that are really just coming in cold here. Everybody has been playing somewhere. You go all the way back to April, and Bear Creek Express took a ton of guys down to Las Vegas. In for a strike at the bottom of the zone for Veenhoff. The Team Canada pool had a week in Florida in April. And a lot of the players from Latin America and South America play on the tournament circuit across Mexico into Venezuela, other countries that softball. Mexico has really picked up the men's play the last few years. There are a number of great tournaments south of the American border in Mexico. Luciano Lafrano, of course, is fortunate enough to get down to many of those with Softball Premier TV, and this one is lifted sky high on the infield. Coming across is our shortstop for the Batmen, Mitch McKay. He pulls that one down for the first out of the inning. Cole Evans, MVP of the World Tournament a couple of years ago when the Gremlins won at Circle Tap. Veenhoff zips this one in for a strike on the outside corner. Two lefties in the game, Veenhoff and Besgrove. It's a contrast in styles, certainly. Besgrove throws very hard. Veenhoff relies much more on hitting spots and movement. And again, we talked about how much movement that Jack Besgrove has too. But Veenhoff, 2-3 appearances against the Gremlins over the last couple of years, and he has held this team down once or twice through the order each time. He's done a real good job for Toronto when they've matched up with the Gremlins. He's kept them in the game. There's a chopper on the infield. That one's off the glove of Torrey at second base, and I thought that one was going to be destined up the middle regardless. A good job by Owen Torrey to even go and get a glove on it. I'm looking over at Steve Kuhl, and he's saying that's a base hit. Not that I have the final say, but I completely agree. Steve's got the final say. He always did, even as an umpire. Lucio Redomar to the plate. Watch this guy fly if he gets a chance to run. Good job by Pringle to keep that one in the glove. One of the many good young players that continue to come up to North America from Argentina, Lucio Redomar, with his second year now with the just about said New York Gremlins, with the Bear Creek Gremlins. In and out of the glove of Torrey, gathers it up onto first. They get Redomar. Cole Evans up to second on that play. Well, that's how quick Redomar is. Just in and out of the glove, that little bobble, and any chance of thinking that you might be able to get two out the window, and they just got Redomar by a step at first. So Josh McGovern to the plate, designated player tonight for the Gremlins, and Josh came over to the Gremlins essentially in a one-for-one trade with Blake Hunter going the other way to the Hill United Chiefs. Not an official trade, but both players deciding that they wanted some greener pastures, and it effectively amounts to that. This is a great move for Josh and for Jack Besgrove. They're the battery mate on the Aussie Steelers. And Nick Mullins, closer to the end of his career than he is to the beginning. And Josh McGovern will spell him off with catching duties throughout this abbreviated summer. In and gets a piece of McGovern, who has a pretty healthy arm guard on, but that looked like it actually got him inside the arm guard, maybe on the rib. So two runners aboard. And Brian Avery Brian will be a key member of Team Canada at the World Cup coming up. Upstairs from Veenhoff, a little bit of a head tilt. Thought that maybe that pitch was closer. Brian's so versatile. He can catch, he can play corner infield, he can play corner outfield. And apparently he's been doing some pitching out in the Lower Mainland too. Somebody sent me a video about 3 weeks ago. Corey Ashby, I want to say hello. Sent me a video of Brian doing some pitching, believe it or not. And that one was a little, excuse me, check swing, but he actually managed to make contact with the ball, so a hard luck strike. 1-2 to Brian Avery. 2 down in the inning, 2 runners aboard. First look at a run for the Gremlins. And there's a squibber down to Benson. He'll neatly tuck that away. The Gremlins strand 2 in the second inning, still scoreless. We'll go to the top of the third. Toronto Batmen coming back up to the plate.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
Jack Besgrove is 6 for 6 in strikeouts in the first 6 batters he's faced. 7-8-9 coming up for the Batman. A.J. Moses, Mitch Pringle, Owen Torrey. A.J. Moses doing about quadruple duty here this weekend. He's the head of the host committee. That brings us to Mitchell. He's one of our sponsors. You just saw the Live Well for Life. That's AJ's business. And when he's got a couple of spare moments, he goes and plays left field for the Batman. Besgrove bends in that changeup. Oh, and 2 to Moses. And Kevin DiDomenico punches out A.J. Moses. So run it to 7 straight for Jack Besgrove as A.J. unable to hold back on the check swing attempt. Mitch Pringle, the catcher. Mitch from up in the Grey Bruce Peninsula area. Besgrove jumps out ahead, 0-1. misses upstairs. Mitch spent a couple of seasons with the Wyerton Nationals at the tail end of their run in ISC 2. Strike to the outside corner. This Batmen team now, I want to say, has been around for at least a decade. Cody Skelton put this together with sponsorship from Mom Cheryl, support from Dad Mike, and what a great couple they are. Huge supporters of the game, and we'll talk more about that as Mitch Pringle can't get the bat off the shoulder. Toronto Batmen here, a U23 team, Toronto Batmen under 23, based out of Rostock, supported by the Skelton family. Coburg Force, supported by the Skelton family. They love this game. They are big supporters. They're supporters of the streaming program that you're watching here, and we just want to say thank you to Mike and Cheryl for everything that you do for this game. Cheryl, I know you're picking up uniforms from what I understand. You had to go back to the city and get some uniforms. I know you'll be here tomorrow. Look forward to catching up. Had a great conversation with Mike earlier this afternoon. Downstairs to Owen Torrey. Oh, misses upstairs. And there's a strike right at the bottom of the letters. You heard the count, 2-2 to Owen Torrey. And called strike 3. Jack Besgrove gets through the order once. Nobody has been able to get a ball in play. Still scoreless. We'll go to home half of the third. The Gremlins coming back to the plate. Hey.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
It's Nick Mullins leading things off for the Gremlins here in the bottom of the third inning. Our UIC, Paul Byer, just dropped by with a score update. Kingston Axemen are up 2-0 on the Walton Brewers. That game about the fourth inning. That's on the diamond behind us, behind center field. We had 3 game cycles here on Friday. We started at 5 p.m. Bear Creek Express were winners in the white division over the Northeast Drillers. Well, really, Ty Sebastian beat the Northeast Drillers 4-1. He pitched 4 innings. He hit 2 two-run home runs. Pitterona pitched the final 3. Pueblo Mata took the loss in that one as Mullins flies out to short right. Hill United came into this tournament on a roll. They steamrolled everybody at the Jack Grafmeyer. The only team they couldn't beat was the Mother Nature one. She rained out the finals in what was going to be a good matchup with the Fargo Kegel Black Knights. The Chiefs and the Knights, co-champions at the Jack Grafmeyer. But JDT Energy with a 3-2 upset over the Chiefs in a game on this diamond that ended just about an hour ago or so. In for a strike to Tawny Mumu, getting now his second look at Dustin Wienhoff. Sebringville Sting were 2-1 winners over the Townsend Tide earlier this evening. Toronto Batmen, the U23 version, were 5-1 winners over Waterdown Hammer. Georgian Bay Giants came from behind, were trailing 6-4 at one point, but rallied to win 8-7 over the Ontario U20 squad that's playing here in the Red Division. Just misses with that pitch. Goes upstairs and punches this one down the line. Foul, drifting, and coming in and making the sliding attempt and making the catch. Did you see who made the catch? Was it AJ that came in? AJ came in and made the catch. Three of them converged, and I lost track of who got it, but AJ Moses came a mile. There you see it, just at the end. AJ Moses came a mile to make that catch. Wow. Great play by AJ. So 2 down, Jerome Remeke at the plate. In for a strike, the bottom of the zone. That's where you want to stay with Jerome. But let's face it, I mean, he can go down and get a pitch. He can go up and get a pitch. He can go out and get a pitch. One just misses too low. So 1 ball, 1 strike to the hard-hitting lefty. This one is lifted out to center. Coming in a couple of steps, McKay pulls that one down in a nice 1-2-3 inning. Gets each of the outfielders involved. Does Dustin Wienhoff. Scoreless through 3. Toronto coming back up in the 4th. We're moving along a little bit quicker in this one. What's up? Oh, it comes up on the white screen over here. No, I can't read it up there either. Well, that one, little rise ball was 72. But yeah, he's ranging between 78 and 80 with the drop. Diaz was 84, 85 with the drop last game. Did he hit 87? Yeah, that's about his top speed. You might have heard somebody yelling top, top, top. It is the top of the shop. Mason McKay, Mitch McKay, and Tyler Pauli will get their second looks at Jack Bestgrove. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has been even close to Bestgrove here this evening. 9 up, 9 down, 9 Ks. Misses upstairs with that one, 78-mile-an-hour rise ball. And in for a strike. Swing and a miss. Make it 10. What's the over-under, Steve, and how long this goes? He's pretty dominant right now, isn't he? Mitch McKay. Fouls this one straight back to the screen, rattles around. As a coach, here would be, in my mind, a great opportunity to just call for a little drag bunt, or maybe even push one towards third a little bit. Remeke is only 2 steps in from the bag, but there's the great changeup at 58, dialing it down to 58 from Jack Besgrove, and over the top goes Mitch McKay. But I look where the infielders are playing. Ochoa's 2 steps in from the bag at first. Remeke 2 steps in at third. I'd be looking to bunt and drag one here and try to beat it out. McKay's got more than enough speed. Fouls that one back to the screen again. Full swing. Freezes Mitch McKay at the plate. Make it 11. Tyler Pauli. We don't have to tell you what happened in his first at bat, you know. In for a strike on the outside corner. Tyler Pauli already a 2-time ISC batting champion over the years. 1 pre-pandemic, 1 post. Lays off that inside drop from Besgrove. And fouls this one back into the screen. This one is going to get over the fence and out of play, way out of play on the right side. Nick Mullins, always agile from behind the dish, ran down the line to give it a look, but that one was back even over the head of Carol Dureste, our ace camera operator, who is up on the dugout on the first base side. Traditionally, she's been a little further down the line on a picnic table, but opting to go up onto the roof this year. Went off the mask of Mullins, a little foul tip, and he says to Matthew Leclerc, "I'm fine." They'll give him a minute as he gets to walk out to the mound, and that will be his defensive conference for the inning, I would presume. You're allowed one of those per inning. After that, it becomes a ball on the batter. One of those hurry-up rules. Blows the rise ball past Tyler Pauli. Strike 3, make it a dozen for Jack Besgrove. Jeez.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say this.
Benny Anoka, Eric Ochoa, Cole Evans, 3-4-5 for the Gremlins here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Still looking for our first run. Just misses downstairs to Anoka. Benny has racked up. I was trying to do the mental math. I think he's got 6 ISC World Championships over the years. There's a high hopper on the infield. Turn, spin, throw, and they get him at first. That's a real good play by Denny Benson and Owen Torrey on the receiving end with Ben Anoka charging down the line at him. A lot of things can go wrong on that play, but executed perfectly there by the Batmen. Got to hurry still to get Ben Anoka. Eric Ochoa to the dish. Swing and a miss. A big cut as we feel the wind from that cut by Eric Ochoa. Just nibbled away in the outside corner, and that one's going to go foul as it's punched down the left side out of play. You see some of the group who are right on the rail down the left field line. Pretty good full crowd here behind us in the bleachers and stretching across towards both of the dugouts. And you see some of the look. .10:36 Eastern Time. Just off the outside corner. They're going to want to ask, but that's a tough look for Kevin DiDomenico on a left-handed batter on a pitch that's down and away. That's pretty tough to tell from his vantage point. That one is punched out to straightaway center field. That's the hardest hit ball that really the Gremlins have had all night. Straight back up the middle. Wienhoff, as he often does, just mixes speeds and spins and locations. pinch runner coming for Ochoa. That is Abiardo Penuelas. Penuelas came over to the Gremlins late last year and ended up in a starting role. Penuelas played very good defense and hit well for the Gremlins over the second half of the season last year, and I thought he did a great job at the World Tournament for the Gremlins. Cole Evans to the dish, the captain of the New Zealand Black Sox, one of the leaders, one of many leaders on this Gremlins squad. A decade ago, he was a fresh-faced 16-year-old making his appearance with the New Zealand Black Sox at the World Cup in Saskatoon. Here we are a decade later. 26, but he's a 10-year veteran. Lace foul and out of play on the right side. Kept the hands back, but just unable to get that into play. Just misses upstairs. There's a little flare. That's going to fall in left field. Penuelas comes around second and has to scramble to get back to the bag. He threw out the anchor 4 steps past the base and decided, no, I am not going to try that to get all the way to third. He scrambles back. But back-to-back base hits for the Gremlins, and they've got something cooking here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 down, but 2 runners aboard. Lucio Redemar grounded out to Owen Torrey at second base in his first at-bat. Pringle and Veenhoff get on the same page with the signals. So it seems like Veenhoff running into trouble in the even innings here. The second, he had 2 runners aboard, worked out of it. A 1-2-3 third, and now same situation here in the 4th with a pair of runners aboard, and gets a swinging strike to get ahead of Lucio Redemar, 0-1. And a good pitch again, just on the outside corner from Dustin Veenhoff. And he jumps ahead of Redemar, now 0-2. Chopper through Benson, getting the wave. Here comes Penuelas. It's cut off. And runners at the corners as Penuelas comes around from second base and scores on an RBI to Lucio Redemar. Cole Evans went first to third on that grounder out to right field. The Gremlins jump out to a 1-0 lead here in the fourth. And McGovern puts a little bleeder into play. Actually goes through the legs of Johnny Baker, but they weren't going to get anybody on that little hopper. And make it 2-0 as Cole Evans comes in on a ball that hasn't yet traveled 35 feet. Not how hard you hit them, it's where you hit them. A mound visit here from the Batmen coach Lee Jacques. And good to see Lee back. Ran into some health issues at the end of last season. Unable to make the trip out to Surrey, British Columbia to Softball City. He's delivering a strong message to his squad out there. Vienhoff's been pitching a good game, and a couple of just well-placed singles here by the Gremlins. As we talked over the years, this is a hard team to hold down. So back to runners at first and second. McGovern's at first. Redemar is out at second. Brian Avery to the dish. Brian grounded out to Denny Benson at first to end the second inning. Pitch just misses outside. Vienhoff shot puts it over to third. If he turns and somehow getting a leg back to the bag, but didn't need to tag him, and this is, I think, what some of the confusion is. All he needed to do was step on the base. Yeah, Dustin Vienhoff didn't help Johnny Baker out at third there by shot putting one into the dirt in front of him. So Redemar is out at third on that play. 1-5. Fielder's choice for Avery over at first base. And Mullins lifts this one up in the air out to right and ranging across to pull that one down. Tyler Pauli. But the New York Gremlins, there it is. The Bear Creek Gremlins score 2 in the bottom of the fourth and take a 2-0 lead. We'll go to the top of the fifth for the Toronto Batmen, still looking to get on track against Jack Besgrove.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
You might expect that as a pitcher, you would be bearing down a little bit now that your team is taking a 2-0 lead. But when you've struck out 12 of 12 batters faced, I don't know that you can bear down any more than Jack Besgrove already has. Zips in a rise ball over the bat of Denny Benson, leading things here in the top of the 5th inning for the Toronto Batmen. 12 up, 12 down, 12 strikeouts. Lost the handle on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Denny Benson, hard-hitting infielder from the Fenland Falls area. And a ball on the field from the diamond behind us is the cause of the delay. Rise ball again from Besgrove. He and Nick Mullins have got this one perfected tonight. Right on the bottom of the zone, in for called strike 3. Denny Benson just can't get the bat off the shoulder. Andy Skelton, designated player to the plate. Jack Besgrove, boy, just mowing them tonight. He's trying to bend that one in for a strike on the outside corner. It was closer than the last one that he threw to Benson, but just hasn't got that one dialed in just yet. That rise ball, though, there's one on the outside corner, in for a strike. Andy Skelton breaks up the no-hitter bid, aboard with a base hit. He just passed a diving Tawny Mumu and out to right field. So we can put that particular story to rest. Johnny Baker to the dish. Still can't catch up with the rise ball from Jack Besgrove. Up and in, backs Baker off the plate. Make it 1-2. Defense is straight away for the Gremlins. And strike 3 down at the bottom of the zone to John Baker. A.J. Moses down on strikes leading off the 3rd inning. Opportunity here with Andy Skelton aboard to try and keep the inning alive for the Toronto Batmen. Good cut, fouls that one straight back. I've always liked the various permutations of uniforms that the Toronto Batmen have featured, particularly like these new whites with the purple and gold trim. Upstairs from Bestgrove to Moses. Toronto in script with dangling bats at either end. They've won a couple of Best Dressed awards over the years, and this one, in my mind at least, is a contender again. Chopper on the infield. Andy Skelton tries to make sure he doesn't get hit with it. Tani Mumu not distracted. Well, Bestgrove only strikes out 2 of 3 for the 3 outs this inning. 14 on the game. The Batmen get a hit, but nothing else. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. The Gremlins up 2-0.
Welcome to Monthill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Mattiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Tani Mumu will lead things off for the Bear Creek Gremlins. Top of the 5th inning. Dustin Wienhoff back out here to face the Gremlins. Mumu getting now his 3rd look at Dustin Wienhoff. A ground out and a fly out. Thinking bunt here, but takes the bat through the zone and over the ball. We want to express our condolences to Varm Mattiosi, and you saw Varm just there in the Mr. Ned ad. Lost his wife, who fought a very valiant battle against cancer about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And an emotional moment with Varm a little bit earlier this evening. I got to see him for the first time this year, and it's great to see him back here at the ballpark, but just very sad circumstances, and all of us in the game do extend our best to Varm and his family. Mumu swings over the top of a real good-looking drop ball from Dustin Wienhoff. Just his 2nd strikeout of the game. Remeke still looking for his first hit. Ball 1 off the outside corner. Had a big cut at it, but flies this one way up in the sky. As an infielder, particularly on these dark nights, I wanted nothing to do with those, but Owen Torrey pulls that one down with confidence, and Jerome Remeke is just left to lament hitting the bottom of it, not the back of it. Beninoka to the right side twice, and that's where Benny's power has been over the years, from center right to center left. But he's always hit the ball with authority to right side, has always let the ball travel into the strike zone, and has always been more than quick enough to get the bat through the zone to hit it hard on the right side of the field as a right-handed batter. Ties him up with a good inside pitch. Wienhoff really hitting the spots well here in the fifth. It's a bit of a quirky situation. It's been the second and the fourth, the even-numbered innings where he's had the difficulties. And Anoka goes downstairs and pulls that one through the 5.5 hole and aboard with a base hit, a 2-out base hit here in the fifth. Good bit of hitting by the veteran. So Eric Ochoa was re-entered back in the game after being run for by Penuelas an inning earlier. Chases upstairs, up and in, a good pitch again, an opener from Dustin Wienhoff. And comes back with an outside drop that just falls off the table. 0-2 advantage Dustin Wienhoff. Two real good pitches here from the veteran from the Bruce Peninsula. Out to short, hard hit, but right at the shortstop. McKay flips to second to Torrey. A good inning from Dustin Wienhoff, a good recovery inning. The bottom of the fifth. We'll go to the top of the sixth. It's been all Jack Besgrove for the black team on defense.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Mitch Pringle leading things off here in the sixth. Swings through strike one. And fouls this one straight back for strike two. The Batmen just haven't been able to square anything up off of Bestgrove, other than Andy Skelton, who pulled that ball past a diving Tawny Mumu last inning. And one of the few times they've been able to lay off the rise ball. But can't get a piece of that one whatsoever. 15 now for Jack Bestgrove. Owen Torrey, who made some good defensive plays for Toronto. Lays off that one. And as improbable as it might sound, Toronto's still within bloop and blast range. That one misses downstairs. Bestgrove is a global phenomenon. After leaving North America, he went back to Japan last fall, really, and helped his team win the Japan League. I think he came up short against Marco Diaz, of all people, who was flown in for the Australian Championship. But Jack pitched a couple of tournaments in Venezuela and others. There's a 3-4 hopper down the line to Ochoa. Puts that away and retires Owen Torrey. Just the second ground ball out of the game. A non-strikeout out. Top of the shop for Toronto, it's Mason McKay. Chases upstairs for strike one. And just can't catch up with the rise ball here, Mason McKay. Making a trifecta there for Jack Bestgrove over Mason McKay. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 16 on the night for Jack Bestgrove.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include
Cole Evans, Lucio Redemar, Josh McGovern, 5-6-7 for the Gremlins in their order. Evans looks at ball one from Dustin Wienhoff. Done a great job tonight, has Dustin through 5, just the 2 runs in the 4th. He's done his job, has held this hard-hitting Gremlins team down. But Jack Besgrove has just been dominant tonight. One of the best performances I've seen from Jack in his short time here in North America. Hard hit ball out to left field. Evans takes a turn and then retreats back to first, but Cole Evans is 3 for 3 now on the night. A chopper again pulled down the right side. Lucio Redemar gets his second hit of the game. He picked up an RBI on something similar looking back in the 4th. Cole Evans goes coast to coast. Real quick bat has Redemar. You see in the replay how quickly he got that through the zone. Pulled that on a hard one hopper over the head of Denny Benson. So nobody down, runners on the corners. Josh McGovern, an opportunity to break this one open for the Gremlins. We were talking about the Japan League half an inning ago. Josh McGovern hit a big home run in extra innings, and that was the difference in that championship game. Keep an eye on Lucio Redemar over at first base. He's got plenty of speed. Infield is in for the Batmen. In for a strike. The full Gremlin Brain Trust is here this week, with perhaps the exception of Reese Casely, but they've got about 5 coaches on the bench. And in and out of the glove of Pringle, here comes Cole Evans, who didn't miss a step on the break from third, and a bit of a gift run there for the Gremlins from the Batmen. Redemar up to second on the play. Those are the freebies that you just can't give away to a team the stature of the Bear Creek Gremlins. They get enough earned runs. And McGovern swings through that one. Just the third strikeout of the game for Wienhoff. Brian Avery to the plate. Grounded out to first and then reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. This one is poked out to deep right, fading and foul down the right side, just dropping into foul territory down the corner. 245 to the fence down the lines. 270 in straightaway center field. It is a poke to get one out of here in straightaway center. Four-diamond complex, 3 of them lit here at Keterson Park. We're using the 3 lit diamonds and keeping that 4th one in reserve. And that one is pulled into the 5.5 hole. Getting the wave is Redemar, and the throw goes into second base. And the Gremlins tack on 2 more here in the 6th. And that seems to have convinced some of our crowd here that they're going to head for warmer pastures. It's a brisk spring day. It's still spring here for another week in Ontario. It's a brisk evening. Down to the mid-teens Celsius. But frankly, given what the weather forecast was about 3 days ago for this evening, where it was threatening to rain all night long, we're quite happy that we've got in 9 ball games here at the ISC Canada East qualifier. This is the 9th of 9 and the only one still standing. All the other games have wrapped up. We were delayed on this one right from the get-go. We started on time, but that first game went 2.5 hours. The second one, probably 2 and 10. This one looks like it might go a little bit shorter, but probably just jinxed it right there. That one misses down and away from Veenhoff, who needs to shut the door here and just limit the damage to the 2 runs already in for the Gremlins, doubling their lead to 4-0. But that one is laced out to right field by Nick Mullins, who just does a great job of hitting it where it came from. They throw to third. They don't get Brian Avery there. Mullins alertly gets up to second base on the throw. And rather than waiting to get the 2-out catcher replacement runner, they'll send Ladislav Malarczuk in to run for Nick Mullins. Pretty good when you can reach into your bench and pull out a player the caliber of Ladislav Malarczuk, who's about a 4-time ISC All-World player, including last year. We got to start calling guys like Malarczuk veterans now. They've been around at least a decade, if not more. I remember Ladislav Malarczuk, Pavlo Migliavaca, some others from Argentina back all the way in 2012 on that, what was then a junior men's team that came up to play in the ISC World Tournament. And this one is drilled out in the gap to right field again. Tani Mumu picks up an RBI double. Avery scores. Malarczuk ends up at third. And the Gremlins up to 5-0 now. Mumu gets his first hit of the game, so he's 1 for 4. Remeke here can end it if he cashes these 2 runners. Malorzook looks like he'd like to be wearing a parka out there on third. Upstairs to Remeke. Big cut, but that goes out of play on the left side. We'll be right back with you at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Hill United Chiefs will be back on the diamond at 8:30. They will take on these Bear Creek Gremlins at 5. That's the big game that everybody will be looking for. 5 o'clock scheduled start time. Plenty of action all day long from the Canada East qualifier here on Softball Premier TV. Remeke's getting close. Hill United and the Northeast Drillers tomorrow morning. 10 o'clock, Bear Creek Express and the New York Gremlins. The top 4 teams from the rankings last year. The top 4 teams in the standings at the end of the World Tournament last year. All in action. And that's just the first 2 games tomorrow morning, folks. It's going to be a great day here on Softball Premier TV. Stay with us all day long as we've got action from the A Diamond here at Keterson Park. We'll bring you the scores from all of the games here at the Canada East qualifier. Peter Labardius will be back tomorrow morning. Joe Todd, Blair Setford. We'll see who else stops by and we can corral into helping us out here on Softball Premier. That one is laced to the gap, and that should be it. Jerome Remeke with a 2 RBI double. Tani Mumu trots home with the game's 7th run. The New York Gremlins pull away here in the 6th inning. They score 5 to make it a 7-0 ball game. Jack Bestgrove ends up with 16 strikeouts, just the 1 hit for the Batman, Andy Skelton, the lone base runner for Toronto. New York Gremlins, just a little bit too much for Toronto tonight. For everybody here at the Canada East qualifier, Softball Premier TV, thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.
Live it on Softball Premier.